What's up guys, it's your boy NaughtyNev. Welcome back to another video. So today we have K9 Cyber Dragons going up against Yummy Mitsurugi once again. So we lost the rock, paper, scissors. Our opponent is going first. In our opening hand we have Imperm, Fualos, Cyber Dragon Core, and Case 4 K9. Opponent has Mitsurugi players, Cookie, Yummy, Ash Blossom, Fireflint, Lady, and Mitsurugi players. So opponent's going to start their turn. In the draw phase, they will activate prayers and they're going to search for Habakiri. Then they'll enter the main phase Habakiri effect. Here now, obviously, I'm thinking, oh cool, he's playing Mitsurugi. So to Habakiri, we are going to chain for Wallace to get that draw, but my opponent has the Ash Blossom to negate, so we're not drawing any cards. They'll special summon the Saji, tribute Saji. Saji effect to add a Mitsurugi spell or trap from the deck to the hand. That's going to be the Mitsurugi ritual. They'll activate the Mitsurugi ritual to ritual summon from hand, and they're going to send the Awamasa and the Kusanagi, and then Habakiri will then hit the field. Channeling 1, Kusanagi. Channeling 2, Awamasa. Awamasa is going to add, well, let me check. Yeah, it adds a Mitsurugi monster, and Kusanagi will just add the ritual spell card back to our opponent's hand. Then they'll activate the Mitsurugi ritual to now ritual summon from the deck. They'll bring out the Murakumo, tributing the Habakiri. Then Mitsurugi ritual effect. Wait, is it the ritual effect? Oh no, sorry guys, it's the Habakiri effect. We'll get the Mitsurugi Great Purification, another form of negate for our opponent. Then our opponent normal summons Cookie Yummy. Now here I was like, hey yo, Yummy Mitsurugi, crazy. So using Cookie, link summon into Snatchy effect, and here I decide to Imperm because the only time I get to use Imperm is at this point right now. So I take the risk, and obviously my opponent will chain Murakumo. Yeah, Murakumo. Sorry, these names are quite forgetful and difficult to remember. And obviously we're gonna... Oh yes, sorry. I'm obviously going to discard a card because I need to stop Snatchy, and thankfully the card we can discard is Cyber Dragon. Then my opponent will set the Mitsurugi Great Purification, the Mitsurugi Prayers, and will pass for turn. We draw into an Ash Blossom. So we enter the main phase. We're going to activate a Case for K9. Opponent will chain Murakumo effect, and I decide I will discard because obviously Mitsurugi cards do trigger in the graveyard when they're tributed, so it would be good to search for K9 Azuna. Then I normal summon Core effect. Obviously I knew about the Mitsurugi Great Purification, but I just had no way, well, that I could think of to try bait it out earlier before using Core effect. So obviously chaining 2 Great Purification will negate and destroy our Cyber Dragon Core. And then opponent does not use Murakumo effect because he now knows we actually have a K9 Azuna in our hand. We can't do anything, so I pass for turn. Opponent will start their turn, draw into another copy of Habakiri. They're going to normal summon the Fireflint Lady, and then with that, because it's a level 1 and our opponent controls a link 1, they can just Synchro summon into Cup C Yummy. And here I knew straight away, pure Yummy plays does not trigger K9 cards, and it's actually going to be game because they can search for the field spell and then, well, not OTK, but you know, kill us in the same turn. So opponent will special summon Cup C, search for surprise, then go into Snatchy. Snatchy effect will obviously get the field spell minion. This boosts the Yummy monster's attack by 500 for each light beast monster they control. And then right here, enter the battle phase, and I already know it's game. So we scoop and we go into game number 2. We are now going first. Now, in our opening hand, I do open Cyberlord Fusion, cross out Designate to Cyberdark Realm, K9 Lantern, Cyber Dragon Core. Opponent has Cup C, Lollipop, Mitsurugi Ritual for Walos, and Called by the Grave. So we're going to enter the main phase, normal summon Core effect. Opponent will chain for Walos, and obviously we're going to use cross out Designator to negate, and now we can go full combo. So we search for Cyber Emergency because I already have Cyberdark Realm, and I already have Cyberlord Fusion. Then we use Realm to search for Chimera, Realm effect to normal summon Chimera, link summon into Clockwork Knight. Clockwork Knight will search for the continuous spell Clockwork Knight. Chimera's effect will discard Cyberlord Fusion because I knew that my opponent was on Yummy. And guys, Clockwork Knight, most of the time, just outs Yummy and stops Yummy. They cannot go into the link 1. That really hurts them. So because of that, the card I am sending is Cyberlord Fusion, and it's fine because we can still get it back with Cyberdark Worm because Cyberdark Worm is just such a powerful card. So we're going to search for Power Bond. And now here we go into Clifford Genius, and then we'll use Chimera's effect to send Cyberdark Worm. Cyberdark Worm effect to send Hertz as cost. Reborn himself, recycle the Cyberlord Fusion, and Hertz effect will trigger. We'll search for Cyber Dragon, and then we'll activate Power Bond. The downside to this is you can't get access to King Regulus because we kept Clockwork Knight in our hand. But we do have Clifford Genius, and if we do play it right, we can still possibly get all 3 cards that we need. But let's see what happens. Power Bond. Fusion summoning to Chimera attack Rampage Dragon. Then we XC summoning to K9 Ripper. K9 Ripper effect, detaching Worm. We're going to search for Jockle, and now we'll start our K9 plays. Because my opponent did activate a monster effect, this time I remember that I can set the quick play spell. Now we'll go Jockle effect. Special summon himself and Cyber Dragon. We'll go Clifford Genius effect. And the card I decide to add here is Disablaster, just to get some more, not engine, but more pieces to extend. And then we'll go Jockle effect, search for Azuna since we already have Lantern. Then we'll XC summon into Quinn Query. Quinn Query effect, detaching Jockle. We're going to reborn the Cyber Dark Worm. And now we'll go Lantern effect, special summon himself and the Jockle. And then we'll go Clifford Genius effect. And this time I was thinking whether I should add Crab Crane, but I figured I'll just end on SP and let me at least get access to Therian King Regulus, because from here I don't know how I can trigger Clifford Genius a 3rd time to get Crab Crane. So we have Regulus in our hand now, not a problem for us. Lantern will search for a case for K9, and then we'll XC summon into Valon. Using Quinn Query and Genius, we're going to SP, special summon the Disablaster, and then we're going to Cyber Dragon Nova. And our Cyber Dragon Nova effect to special summon Cyber Dragon, go into Infinity, and then we activate Therian King Regulus. Now here, you guys may be wondering, why am I putting all my cards in defense? It was just in case my opponent is on Lightning Storm. Dark Ruler No More is coming back due to Yummy, and Lightning Storm is obviously a good combination to have it, so I just wanted to be prepared so that at least my opponent cannot use Lightning Storm to destroy my monsters. If they're in attack position, I'll probably just have to worry about Dark Ruler and hopefully Friend survive. But my opponent just checked the card he was drawing into. It was a Ghost Ogre, and automatically from there I already knew he was going to scoop. So we go into game number 3, and now my opponent is going first. In our opening hand, we have Imperm, Dark Ruler, Lightning Storm. You see what I mean? Dark Ruler, Lightning Storm, you see? Clockwork Knight, Cyber Dark Claw. Opponent has Solemn Judgment, Cookie, Cupsy, Lollipop, Cupsy. Wow, all 3 cards in his hand. Very good for our opponent. He has a starter and extender. And in our case, guys, we have absolute board breakers. What a beautiful hand. So opponent's going to enter the main phase. They're going to normal summon Cupsy, Cupsy effect. Search for Yummy Surprise. I let this go through because we did have Lightning Storm to get rid of back row, and we had Dark Ruler just to negate our opponent's board. Like, for example, stopping the Arc Herald. The Synchro. Arc Herald of Light. I forgot his name. Then our opponent will link summon into Snatchy. My opponent does not use Snatchy effect, and the reason for that is he probably knew about the Imperm. So in case we had an Imperm, if we do negate Snatchy, he cannot dodge the Imperm, so he doesn't use the effect yet. Instead, he wants to put Cookie on the field to have another monster he can use to quick synchro to dodge Effect Veiler or Imperm. So from here, opponent will then special summon Lollipop, and using the Lollipop go into a second copy of Snatchy. This way, now he can dodge our Imperm. So he goes Snatchy effect, and I knew about that play. There's no point trying to use Imperm, so I let it go through. Opponent gets access to the field spell minion. Opponent will then synchro summon into Cupsy Yummy Way. Its effect to add 2 Yummy monsters from the deck to the hand. Get access to Cookie and Lollipop again, and they have to discard a card. Then our opponent will special summon Cupsy from the hand. They'll use the Link 1 and Cupsy to synchro summon into Lollipop. Lollipop effect will special summon 2 Yummy monsters from the graveyard, but their effects are negated. Then our opponent will just straight away synchro summon into Herald of the Arc Light. Then our opponent will set Surprise, set Solemn Judgment, and pass for a turn. So we draw into an infinite impermanence. So guys, we have a really good hand to try bait out interruptions and just break our opponent's board. The only concern we have is whether he had a hand trap in his hand, because the only starter we had was Cyber Dark Claw. But let's see what happens. Main phase, I activate the effect of Imperm to negate Herald of the Arclight. Opponent will chain Solemn Judgment to negate our Imperm, but thankfully for us, I can't speak. Thankfully for us, we have a second copy of Imperm, so we again try to negate Herald of the Arclight. Opponent will chain Lollipop Yummy Way to bounce back and special summon from grave. Opponent will special summon Cupsy and the Cupsy Yummy Way. Cupsy will then draw a card on summon. Then we go Lightning Storm to destroy all spells and traps. Opponent will chain Surprise to special summon Snatchy from the graveyard. Now opponent has access to his synchro plays, as he has the link 1 on the field. And then Snatchy effect to... Oh, sorry. I thought he was placing the field spell. He did activate Snatchy effect to try and synchro summon, but unfortunately, I'm not sure what card he was talking about. He did not have the target, so he couldn't synchro summon. Took it back. I was like, okay, cool, no problem. Then we carry on playing. And now, I was thinking whether I want to use Dark Ruler no more, or maybe not. But instead, I use Cyberdark Claw effect first. We're going to search for Cyberdark Realm. And then I was like, okay, he didn't have a target that he wanted to go into, but I don't want him to still continue synchro summoning. So instead, I use Dark Ruler no more. And now the goal from here is break the opponent's board, set up our board, and end with Clockwork Knight on the field to floodgate our opponent. Thankfully, my opponent does not have any hand traps, so we are able to go full combo, guys. Cyberdark Realm to search for Cyberdark Chimera. Realm to normal summon Chimera, link summoning to Clockwork Knight, chain link 1 Chimera, chain link 2 Clockwork Knight. We're going to search for a second copy of Clockwork Knight, and we're going to send Cyberdark Worm to the graveyard. Cyberdark Worm effect, sending Hurts. Now, I made a mistake. I sent Hurts by mistake. It should have been Cyber Dragon Core, because automatically when you see Hurts effect go to the graveyard, you want to use its effect. That was the mistake I made. And I realized here, I was like, might as well use Hurt's effect. I have no way of putting it back in deck. So I searched for Cyber Dragon. Then we go Clockwork Knight effect. We're going to reborn the Chimera, tributing the Worm. Chimera effect to search for Power Bond. And then we go Clockwork Knight effect. We're going to discard the Realm to search for Therion King Regulus. And then we're going to... This is what I did, guys. I used my normal summon to tribute summon Cyber Dragon. Yeah, guys, you don't see that happening often. Then I activate Clockwork Knight, and I was like, you know what? Let me contact fuse my opponent's board. We're going to go into Fortress Dragon. And then we're going to use Clockwork Knight and Fortress Dragon. Go into SP Little Knight. SP, I believe I was trying to... I decided to target his 1 Synchro just to banish it. I didn't target the field spell. I didn't target the Snatchies because he had 2 copies. I was like, okay, maybe let's just get rid of the 1 Synchro that's in his grave, because most builds, or almost all builds, just play 1 copy of each Synchro. Then I'll go Therion Regulus effect to establish himself on the field. And then I took the risk. I was relying on Clockwork Knight as a floodgate, Therion King Regulus, and SP. I definitely could have... I could have. I should have used Power Bond. Go into Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, banishing Worm and Hurts. Then I could start my K9 plays right there. But I guess I wasn't happy with that idea because of my mistake. So instead, I pass for turn. Opponent draws into an Ash Blossom. And unfortunately, I'm pretty sure my opponent can't do much from here. My opponent, in the main phase, is going to use the hidden effect of the field spell. I did not know this effect even existed. Actually, I just forgot. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 2 yummy monsters in your graveyard and or banishment. Place this card and them on the bottom of the deck in any order. So, pretty neat recursion for yummy. Opponent's going to shuffle back the Snatchy and the Cupsy. Opponent will normal summon Lollipop, and then go into Snatchy, and then I had to tell my opponent his monsters are now machine, they're not light beasts, or beasts for the most part. Opponent will then link summon into Almirage, then they can special summon Lollipop. Now here they can instantly go into the Synchro monster, which is the Cookie, On summon, it will flip Regulus face down. Now here I was thinking, the synchro monsters trigger when you activate an effect. My monsters has gained 500 attack, his monsters loses 500 attack. So we are fine with SP on the field because technically SP is at 2100. And now I don't want him to reborn any monsters from grave, so I have no response. I let it go through. Thankfully, it worked. So my opponent passes for turn. We join to Cyber Dragon Ashta. And now my opponent just groups. My plan was I was gonna enter main phase, flip Regulus face up, enter battle phase, just clear the monster so that we don't ever trigger it, get our opponent to use its effect, and then I guess see what we could do from there. But guys, K9 Cyber Dragon takes the win. Clockwork Knight did put in the work in this turn and the previous turn. I have like 3 videos I just showed where Clockwork Knight really was putting in the work for you guys. So you guys already know when you're playing K9 Cyber Dragons, Clockwork Knight is a card that you can access with Cyber Dragons, and it can definitely help you against Yami. But otherwise, guys, we took the win. That brings us to the end of the video. I will see you guys in the next video. Naughty Nev signing out. Peace.